Okay. So, when I welcome, do you want a music from my General Hassan? Due to technical difficulties, I don't know why. I don't off the restart my. The game message say no man ever see the relaunch. So Facebook they ready suppress us. Anything wake up on your look, I did take a more. Anything wake up on your look, I did take a more. I don't know whether this thing will work or not though. I don't think we go on I don't think we can't go. We don't think we machine them. I don't think we use them. And the SIGI message, no man the CM. They never see the link for relaunch. I don't want to check for them. So I don't know what did happen. But Facebook don't always get the history for the suppress us. So I think I will just go along with the show, whether the people they feel CM or not. Hopefully after the show, people then feel they could watch them. Maybe you go record from a phone, from a computer, and then later on you go play by itself online. I don't know, but when you get the show, it be live, it be more interactive. It both affect your presentation as well as the impression where the viewership they get them. So they always get these attacks and suppression from Facebook, and they block our Facebook pages unnecessarily and unfairly. And we'll continue for continue for do it what they do for our country, irrespective of that. I will take a moment for check my Facebook page. If any man will, if he see me now, me tell me might text some person, me double check him. Yeah, they tell me say my page no see. Let me see, check again. So I don't send message me somebody check again. If it be live, I go know, but it need to show for yes it be live. It just show say it be online, but you didn't show the live button need to come up. Would always be subject for like Republique du Cameroon attacks, and a crucial moment like this with the development like the one way they develop, we need for access our population for inform them properly. And when a sense pass king, look on it be on board for talk for una people them. Now la Republique they want try for block them. So I don't know if person will comment for the comment section. If on a day online, it will show me. I go understand what I did. When my computer need to show what any person did. Okay, then come on at the scene. Okay, I think so. I will just go ahead for do the presentation. Irrespective of that, would I already play national anthem, but due to the technical difficulties, would I restart again the computer and everything. So if you watch this video after the show, I'll just understand saying I wait that way that happen. We go through some difficulties with the Facebook. So we'll go ahead. So fellow people for Southern Cameroon, fellow citizens of Ambazonia at home and abroad, this is Capo Daniel, Sense Pass King, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces for the Savannah State. I welcome you again once more for this platform for make a presentation for tell you about the meeting where it take place for the Catholic compound for Yaoundé between Julius Ayok Tabi Sisiku and some other Ambazonian prisoners of war with La Republique du Cameroon. I will give you a little bit insight as we don't just come up from a lengthy meeting with the Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Ambazonia Governing Council together with some of our top officials and top advisors. they don't attend that meeting for we for be updated with which way it happen, both for Yaoundé and for the United Nation. So all man una welcome, una come good. Ma try for zoom this thing a little bit. Oops, okay. So all man una come good, and we will go directly for the presentation. I want to welcome the scene two people them. Ray Jane. The Facebook they really temper with this show. It really temper. I think I see get text messages people for person with the times they try my reload you know see be visible. But nevertheless, I will just go ahead to do my presentation. So when I done here already, our country people them say on the 2nd of July 2020, La Republique du Cameroun then come for Insa Kondengi, then take Sisiku Ayoktabi and 9 other prisoners of war, me then go attend some meeting with members them for La Republique du Cameroun. Those members them where they represent La Republique du Cameroun, unfortunately their names then be withheld due to the way diplomacy they work. So when they ask for silence, they put a gag order, or they ask and say me the member then they respect privacy. Those members they need for respect the privacy, even when it being our colonizer them, La Republique du Cameroun. So the meeting it happened. From the information we'll get them, it shows say Sisiku Ayoktabi and the team they be aware for the meeting the day before, or maybe more than that, but we know for sure that they will be aware, say the meeting will take place a day before. Sisiku Ayoktabi and the member them, they no be consult with the leadership we did for outside, including even the interim the vice president of the governing of the IG as well, and but nevertheless they behave very bravely, and that was a very good thing. We stand behind Sisiku. He's a credible leader, and we stand behind them. We know say as prisoners of war, their choices then be limited as well, but their patriotism will never be in doubt. So ladies and gentlemen, I will give you a detail about which way happen, which way mean, and the position for the Amazonian Defense Forces them vis-a-vis this, and my own position as an activist, and an official position where will already reflect the leadership and the institution of the governing council and the ADF. It will be released later. So I come from a lengthy meeting, so I'll be fresh to inform you about which way it go on. First of all, I want to talk say the meeting, the fact say the United Nations then put pressure for La Republique du Cameroun so they can meet up with Sisiku Ayoktabi and the other prisoners of war them. Now very big victory for Amazonia. We need to congratulate ourselves. We need to thank our forces them on the ground when they don't make this one maybe possible. La Republique du Cameroun, where they don't repeatedly reject the notion say there is any problem in the southern Cameroon territory. La Republique du Cameroun, where be banned the consortium. La Republique du Cameroun, where be outlawed the celebration of 1st of October, our history. La Republique du Cameroun, where the official they deny say there was no such Anglophone problem them. La Republique du Cameroun, where they designate people where they campaign for Amazonia a separation and independence as terrorists. They don't be bow down, they don't be humble today for come meet up the same people the way they prosecute them for court, for their kangaroo military court, for talk with them. That one a big victory for we Amazonia. It shows who will win, La Republique they lose, La Republique they be humble, and they don't get no choice but for bow their head to the reality. The truth shall always prevail. So this is a big victory for Amazonia. Say La Republique then be humbled. La Republique then try every trick in the book for destroy Amazonia, their revolution and their prospect for we for get independence, and they don't fail. They don't ban the news, they need to talk about our subject. They don't hire firm, they need to talk, they quench international community, and all those effort them, it don't fail. They don't even use bribery and corruption. But those bribery and corruption them, it don't fail for work. They even send infiltrator, they infiltrate our struggle for destroy them from within. But all those things them, it don't fail. La Republique du Cameroun, they be say the Amazonian, their self-defense, their liberation movement on the ground, the picking up of arms, it will be the greatest challenge for them. They don't try to destroy the southern zone and the the Atlantic states and the Savannah states for bring in fighting inside attack so that make we surrender. They don't fail. They don't even go to an extent for go higher HD. Me HD can suppress our leadership them for bring division amongst them. Make we not succeed. They don't fail. As I talk for una today, the Ambazonian Defense Forces they lead the charge for our liberation struggle with other sister and brotherly forces them waiting there for ground zero. We want to salute all those forces them, say that them be the vanguard for our revolution, that them be the defender of the pride of Ambazonia, and that due to their action the way this day it can be possible. So we want to thank them very, very much. As we talk, this one a big victory for us, and a big shame for La Republique. I don't know where to a pobia go talk for the people them, but they don't bow down for can talk with Ambazonia them. We na the international community they put the pressure for them. This talk also it shows say Sisiku Ayok Tabi na person way he get integrity, because from the people the way they be use them for discredit our leaders them, they be target Sisiku Ayok Tabi for talk say they discuss with La Republique du Cameroun, it hide them. But now we don't see say when La Republique du Cameroun actually can take it for meeting, then come out then talk transparently, it take it time for brief the commander-in-chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the other leaders them. It shows in a man way he get integrity and make our people then forget about those traitors them where they be the child for toxic Sisiku Ayok Tabi na a sell out it get meeting with La Republique du Cameroun behind our back. We not just forget those one them. We don't hear some lunatic way they call itself Ambazonian Bobo. It makes audio the toxic Sisiku no dey for prison. Sisiku dey na for hotel. We not imagine the madness where these people then get them. We also don't see say after Sisiku Ayok Tabi be carried go for this meeting, we see say the agent provocateur them, the agents them for La Republique, they try for catch in for this particular critical moment for mislead our population. Would I even see say Eric Tato he don't go outside for share a fake Twitter from Sisiku Ayok Tabi na this my front we are put on for the where the campaign, the Twitter they actually campaign for the reconstruction and the return of so-called the reign of peace. So now if you look at the one way be on the black one, now Sisiku Ayok Tabi a true Twitter account that you never make any tweet. So if you read the content for this fake Twitter account where na Eric Tato go likely that make them for share them, it try to propagate the issue, say let peace reign. So now the same thing that would the same way the Secret way they don't go join La Republique, Santos, Nicolas and all those people them they work for the same way. We will see how Eric Tato they follow their same line of thought. We will hear how they make all type of claims saying that they fight for Bamenda and they fight for Manfi, but we know say na say they work for the agent for La Republique then they na for spoil which would they do am. Now the same people then this way they be help for try for discredit Sisiku, then try for destroy Sisiku. When the CC will protect Sisiku, na you way they don't come across the pretend for show crocodile love for Sisiku Ayok Tabi. So ladies and gentlemen, now the thing that now we go on. So I go tell now the exactly which way happen for that meeting. Then carry Sisiku then go for the meeting. They meet up La Republique du Cameroun, their representative, then talk for them, say they want me them bring me they agree to a ceasefire. Sisiku Ayok Tabi and the team then talk for them, say they need for consult with the leadership the way they for outside before they feel make any statement. That was the right thing to do. They never agree for any ceasefire. That was not a pre-talk. So any person where they can't try to spread the fake news, say Sisiku Ayok Tabi they negotiate with La Republique du Cameroun, those are completely lies. The interim government, when one of the major faction them, they don't partner together with the Ambazonia Governing Council. They don't get a joint committee, and I sure say the consortium also be involved. If I don't make mistake, then get a committee. They already get a team to negotiate on behalf of Ambazonia. That team be on the standby. But we know very well say prisoner them, they don't get no say for who way they go meet up and La Republique fi carry them go for any meeting, anytime, anywhere. We know for sure say Sisiku Ayok Tabi the reason why we appoint Yerima now because he know the need say the institution, the group, the IG group need to be led from the outside. So now why that way Sisiku Ayok Tabi be appoint Yerima maybe acting interim president for begin run affair them. We know say Sisiku no get no intention for negotiate on behalf of Ambazonia inside prison with chains. We know say na wider way Yerima dey na the function that for Yerima. So we want for talk for our people that meet them be assured for the fact say Sisiku cannot negotiate on behalf of Ambazonia while in jail, and intend for do am na wider way appoint Yerima. We see how some spoilers them they try to project the issue say na Sisiku wan go negotiate on behalf of Ambazonia. That would just be ridiculous. It's not acceptable. We all know that, and I think Sisiku Ayoktabi, he know that one very well. Negotiation supposed to represent appropriately, proportionally, the parties in conflict. And the Ambazonia Defense Forces is the biggest force on ground zero, is the most organized force with the highest coalition partners on ground zero, and they have that same proportionality in representing the entire revolution. We are not going it alone, and nobody will go it alone. So the talk say make the United Nations and La Republique meet and respect this protocol so that we enter into a proper negotiation. La Republique du Cameroon and the United Nations cannot force and they cannot choose who is the leader of Ambazonia and who can represent the Ambazonia. Only the Ambazonian people, in consultation with each other, will decide the outlook of a team to negotiate on their behalf. They will decide on how to represent our state. We want talk say Sisiku today, if he stand a talk, now because of the great job we don't do, they be trying to destroy the apparatus for defend Ambazonia through the county by county, through engineering inside attacks to destroy our forces. They have tried to also destroy those who carry and portray Ambazonia, like on the 1st of October, what we did in Kugwe. They have targeted our forces there. We are also seeing, say, even the forces General Commander No Mercy for Saku, it be targeted as well. They don't try for target for talk say the ADF need to exist for bribe our member, they make them abandon our forces, our structure, so that maybe so need to exist, so that they go carry we go misrepresent the revolution for La Republique. All those things that are fail. So the hope for Sisiku Ayoktabi it come now from the fighting on the ground will be championed by the ADF and by Dr. Chu Ayaba. Now the guns and we would buy them. Now he don't give that chance for La Republique for look Sisiku like na some person. So the hope for Sisiku lie in the fighting on the ground. Now more guns and more bullets they give any talk, any meaning, it give Ambazonia any strength. The hope of our POW lie on the fighting on the ground that is being led by the Ambazonian Defense Forces and our coalition partners, that is being championed by Ayabacho Lucas. The same with the diplomatic effort being championed by the international partners of the Ambazonia Governing Councils, the OMPO, the law firm we have, and their diplomats who are championing the diplomatic movement. The hope of the entire nation for the aspiration of independence lie on our battle on ground zero that is being led by Dr. Cho Ayabacho Lucas. The negotiation for Ambazonian independence, the negotiation for the conflict will also be led appropriately by the biggest force and Dr. Cho Ayabacho, who is fighting to liberate our country, not just to lead for leaders' sake, but to liberate our country during the phase of our liberation. And the people who want to rule will rule. But for any meaningful process to take place, it cannot be by the ADF alone or the egg of sea alone. It must be, like Dr. Chua Yabadan talked, a coming together of the major faction, the AGC, the IG, the consortium, with other friendly groups like the Godedinka own group. They need to come together, and that group needs to be led by the leader, the leading force, where the champion the cause, so that we will fit appropriately address the aspiration of our people in a way where it will be satisfactory. So those are very, very important things. With the CC La Republique du Cameroon and the United Nations, then specifically then choose Sisiku Ayoktabi. When I know say the United Nations not get any strong credibility in terms of endorsing anything we go help with. The same way they be endorse the Swiss process, now the same way they fit do anything. They want to look at least the person where you really represent the strong core of our independent aspiration, so that they go get a concession. That is why they did not want to discuss with Sisiku. They wanted to discuss with illegitimate people, like those people in the act. They call themselves act or what, Ambazonian team or whatever they call themselves. So they will always try all these games and to see if they can get away with it. But we are confident that Sisiku Ayoktabi will do the right thing, and he will lead them to the people who are in the land of the free and empower them to negotiate. At the Ceasefire Facebook, they do them. When I see there, they come out, they put I think they put the viewership for 100 and something, and then they cut and put over 50. I don't know, whatever they are trying to do to play mind games and everything, but we know our people, the revolution shall not be televised. So like the influence matter. When you hear, you spread the news. When you hear the point them way they defend our revolution, you carry them, go with them for front, because now the way that we will fight, we need to do them by corny or by straight way. So when I need to understand our liberation war being waged, being championed, being led by Dr. Cho Ayabacho Lucas, is not a movement, is not targeted to seek for notice, is not seeking for attention from the United Nations, is not seeking for validation from La Republique or the United Nations. We are seeking for solutions to the aspiration of our people, irrespective of how it comes and through whom it may come. So long as it will address the aspiration of our people, we will stand behind it. So even if the worst case scenario, the interim government decide to go and negotiate by itself, so long as it gives us independence, we shall receive it with two hands and we shall celebrate with them. But the interim government is in collaboration with the governing council, and we expect every negotiation will be in collaboration with not just the governing council, but it should be including the consortium and the other stakeholders as it is. Naturally, you would expect that for a negotiation that is going to reflect the aspiration of the people, is supposed to reflect the strength of the various factions in terms of how we are fighting and prosecuting this war. You must identify the various groups involved and make sure that they are they be represented appropriately for the negotiation table. The leading faction need for lead. No matter what happen, the leading faction it need for lead. La Republique du Cameroun, they want project Sisiku Ayoktabi as the leader or as a negotiator, because they know say he could be ineffective as somebody waiting for prison. But we know say the Sisiku will not accept the rule to be a negotiator behind bars. The interim government is led by Mr. Yerima, and we hope that Mr. Yerima, as he's championing it, will be the one to lead the IG group. The egg of C will be led by Dr. Chua Yaba, and we know that in terms of leadership, taking decisions, the Ambazonian Governing Council is the leader. Dr. Chua Yaba is the leader, undoubtedly. The international system knows that we have the biggest force on the ground. We are not leading because we want to push Ayabacho to be the head of state. No, we are leading because we want to champion the liberation of our country, and in an appropriate time, through democratic process, the people will be allowed to transit and choose their own leader, whoever that leader may be. We recognize Sisiku as the leader of the IG. Our state do not have a head of state. We don't have president. Dr. Chuayaba is the president of AGOVC. Ayoktabi is the president of the IG. Godidinka is the president of the ROA. And everybody is the president of where they are. Our country do not have a government. We do not have a president. And we have to know that in mind. For us to win anything, we must do it in sincerity and in clean heart. So the Cameroon government do not have credibility. We cannot trust them at all. Even when it comes to negotiation, we see say even the time for Ayijo become make promises for the Southern Cameroonians. He come talk for frontier, then get meeting upon meeting. Even address the General Assembly of the United Nations for talk say La Republique will unite with us as two equal partners. But the time where the international community just close their eye, then force their constitution on us, they refuse for even give us the honor to get into a union treaty with them, because they want to transform us as a colony. They want to annex us and exploit us as they want. They don't have any intention to respect us, Even as we speak, they don't have any intention to respect us as a people or as a state. Now, why that way they still ban the teaching of Ambazonian history even in universities? Now, why that they still arrest people and carry the name Amba? So there is no confidence between both sides. If there is any negotiation where it need to be carried out, it need to be done out of prison. But we recognize that the prisoner they don't get no choice. They could still carry them go for places where they want to go. But our people they need to understand say the fighting need to continue, it need to intensify until la Republique du Cameroon and the United Nations they will come to understand say there will be no shortcut. Amazonian fighters who are fighting to liberate our country, they will not accept anything less than independence. And for us to have a viable a process that can actually produce a ceasefire, then they need to talk to the people who are carrying the guns. They need to talk to the institutions who are fighting. Monkey no fit fight, then na baboon can chop. So we trust Sisiku. He's a man of integrity and he will do the right thing. And we are all together. When at times like this, it is for our country to come together and make sure they don't divide us even further. So we know say not just a meeting where they will meet up them for talk. I see my brother for the be Lydia the talk. Be Lydia, if you call me, if you call online, if you talk, if you come over, if you allow you me to call you talk. But that is what happened. So I will not want to go further. Most of the things then for those discussion them is to be classified. When it will be declassified, we will inform them, but at least we don't do due diligence for inform our people them exactly which way to go. Now a meeting for inform Sisiku and the other people them say the United Nations want me then do ceasefire. And they be done meet up, the UN also be done reach out, they done talk with Ambazonia Governing Council. We done also tell and say for we forget inside ceasefire or for agree for ceasefire, it need for being a part of a process for negotiation for the final solution. No be just peace fire for stop the fighting because la Republique will continue to kill us. But the fighting that also be enough for liberate the country. So we want ceasefire in the proper context. A ceasefire need to come as a negotiation not between la Republique du Cameroon and Ambazonia, but with a third party where you go fit guarantee am. You know if you go make pact with the devil where you know say if he broke the pact, if he broke him anytime, you know go get nothing to do. So Mr. Lydia, I go call you, you to serve me if you get something for talk at the CUD, one try for talk. Any yeah, the call. Yeah, hello, my brother. You be on my show, Match Fire.
Yes, the Lord Jesus Christ bless you, bro. Good evening.
Good morning for Hong Kong.
Okay, for we here for US now evening. Okay, I'll be right online for the post now for the talk about that that Twitter account. Actually, Eric be use that account for show saying that the fake that one a fake account. Maybe he make that account so now just to correct that talk where you talk.
Okay.
It's a name for a name for nothing.
Oh yeah, if that is the case, I think I apologize.
I see like last time the way that people they create the account. If you one of those and two ways right, then explain say Ayokta basically only account get underscore after you.
Okay.
So just a point of it will be very important.
Oh yeah, that is very important. We don't have to mischaracterize anybody. When I know this one, I platform for the truth. We know if you can't ever can lie for any man in name of a twist, any man he talk. So I apologize to Mr. Eric Tato. That was an honest mistake. I just see how he shared those flyers for chat groups. I hardly pay attention to what he do them. So I know we read them. I think I'm a fault as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you don't get the message clearly, right? From the briefing from the meeting we happened for Yaoundé.
Yes, we don't follow the meeting where it happened and the happy just talk may Ambazonia they hold themselves quiet. The people that for Congress they always assist with for information and they do they follow up they follow up or no and with the wait if anything go negative we too go talk but generally the thing the whole don't they talk and all the other people them they in line for total independence. So make una join, una continue the two groups and the three with the consortium. Una continue. More una not forget una must increase the arming of the people there for ground zero.
Trust me, we go all out. We will show them. Say Ambazonia will be free by whatever they will come around. They don't try to negotiate for suppress our presentation by negotiating with the weakest possible partner. So Sisiku Ayoktabi is a patriot, but they know very well that because he's in jail, he cannot be as effective, even as his appointee, the Vice President Deputy Yerima. So you would expect that if they were acting in good faith, they will hold that meeting with Yerima and Ayabacho, not with Sisiku. But they choose to ignore Yerima and go to meet Sisiku directly. Nevertheless, hold on. Nevertheless, Sisiku Ayoktabi get right to talk on behalf of the revolution and on behalf of the interim government group. But that cannot be effective because for you to get an effective negotiation, the parties who are involved in the war and involved in the diplomacy need to be proportionally represented for the negotiation table. That means you must have the leading force leading the conversation, but it must not be the AGC or the IG alone. It must be a consensus amongst the leading movement and the stakeholders. Go ahead.
Well, which way they talk, it always be for a humble opinion for no really look on that one, because if you look Ayoktabe, Nai and the other people, they be heard inside La Republique. So EGOVC no get a top member where La Republique be extracted from Nigeria. You see, EGOVC no get any, but EGOVC get fighters. That one we will day out, we know very well where they did. So which way they happen, nothing way it get for happen. We will get now for look up to the side, say we not forget for always drop down on our arms, even if anything they come out, and we not get for this set and say we not hold the relationship for total independence. Maybe so firm as Ayoktabe does right from Kondengi. It treat account when it always put the cash phrase total independence.
Exactly.
So that total independence they put on a very big thing.
Yeah, very big thing.
About the position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So una support. I feel tell you, na say barrister not there around here for me for they talk anything or the other members them. But I feel tell you say Ambazonia the give for no say Ayoktabe IG and Ayaba EGOVC. Then they for total independence.
Yeah, so without a doubt. And that
continue.
So my brother, okay.
Una see the humility for the man we don't come back for una for explain even Ayaba don't put her online.
Yeah, those are the things we will talk. So I'll drop my continue the presentation.
Okay, the Lord Jesus bless you. Now,
God bless you. Yeah.
AK-47 never leave him.
Okay, thank you, my brother, for the participation. Yeah, that is what we are emphasizing. The EGOVC and the IG, they are in collaboration. I think they have already a committee that have set up a negotiation party, so everything should be done in collaboration. And we appreciate Sisiku. He done show good faith for come out there, come brief the other leaders and give them detail. It is just once more shows in a man we get integrity. And we also re-emphasize the fact, say, in as much as the transparency that come from Sisiku Ayoktabi side, he need for empower as he do the leadership with and they for free land, so that they will be more effective. And we have to re-emphasize that, and also to say that the ADF will not, nobody cannot ask the ADF to lay down their weapons or to cease fire. Sisiku can do that through negotiation or through the collaboration with the Ambazonian Governing Council. But so long as we carry our big gun for ground zero, we stand as the vanguard, and we'll be very proud for Toxe Sisiku na a partner. Sisiku is an asset, he's not a liability, and it will be that way. But we must re-emphasize the fact, say, the people that carry gun, that then go ultimately make the decision and the choice, and it will be determined by if them be satisfied, say the aspiration for independence, it be substantially protected, and it be guaranteed in any negotiation. It no must be saying at the Hague of C, even though the Hague of C are the leading faction, we are the leaders. We are leading the liberation, but it doesn't mean that everything must come through the Hague of C. It should come through us normally because we are the leading faction, but if it comes through Sisiku, we will happily receive it, and we are monitoring it. He have the right as the leader of the IG to do that. So we are monitoring it, we support him. We can only advise that it is better for his leadership out of prison to handle such a discussion. Nelson Mandela, for example, if he did for prison, they be talk with you for underground, but if he always insists me they engage with the leadership with them for outside where they be free, because you know the one time for me them use that advantage over you. Say you go through your appeal, all those stresses them for prison, lack of information, for use them like an advantage over you as a prisoner, as a captured person. But you want to say me the people that be free, me them be more empowered. So this is an endorsement for Sisiku. It's not anything to criticize him, but as a vanguard, we need for always put our country first, for talk the truth, and for make sure say make all man be aware. Say even though Sisiku he talk as a leader for one of the leading movement them, and one of the leaders for the revolution, but definitely the AGC and the ADF remains the elephant in the room. We are the leading faction in terms of military and diplomacy.